Very good Tuesday evening to all our viewers. Welcome. This is Primetime News. We're coming to you live and direct this evening from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Joel Outschool. We start off today with a look at the headlines.
American company provides an advisor to the Speaker. A number of ministers on overseas tour. Child dies of malnutrition in Vijayapura Maharamya. Residents of the eastern province continue to suffer at the hands of a drought. Supplementary estimate of 56 billion rupees for the renovation of ministerial residences and to purchase vehicles for ministers. Presidential candidate Maithripala, Prime Ministerial candidate Mahinda Rajapaksa. Vasari Jayasekara reveals the plan.
Touching on to a story that made it to the headlines this evening. Now, a few years ago, we revealed a foreign intervention in the activities of the most sovereign body in the country, which is the Parliament. Now, these revelations were reaffirmed in Parliament today. It was disclosed in Parliament today that an advisor to the Speaker is on the payroll of an American company.
On the 2nd of January 2017, we revealed details of a plan to implement a program of an American company shrouded behind reforms to establish good governance in the country. We pointed out that a program to strengthen democratic governance and accountability in the country at a cost of $13 million was being conducted through an American company named Development Alternatives Incorporated. We revealed that this was being implemented based on an agreement reached when a delegation of MPs headed by the Speaker toured the United States of America in September 2016 and met with a group of representatives from America. It is also reported that this company had worked with 150 countries such as Haiti, Georgia, Iraq, Kosovo, Nepal, Myanmar, Afghanistan, all who have been embroiled in armed conflicts or political instability. At the time, we continuously stressed that the activities of Development Alternatives Incorporated has given rise to many issues. A book written on former President of Venezuela Hugo Chavez branded this organization as an extension of the American CIA's operations. The book also states that this organization had spent billions of dollars by the year 2002 in an attempt to depose President Chavez. Against such a backdrop, when Speaker Karu Jayasuriya was questioned then as to why this company was chosen to strengthen good governance, he said that the company was chosen by the AID program conducted by America. The company had stated that they will intervene to strengthen the legislature, centralize power, and on institutional and policy reforms, state administration and human resource management, accountability, state fiscal management, and health management. The 19th Amendment was first passed in Parliament in pursuit of strengthening democratic rule and accountability in the country. This amendment that was passed in 2017, besides achieving the intended purpose, has now given rise to a whole new conflict between the legislature and the executive of the country. The construction of a new office in the parliamentary complex at the expense of a considerable sum of money is also being conducted under this program. By today, it has been established that the implementation of such programs paves the way for foreign forces to make inroads and destabilize the internal administration of the country. This is a tactic of America, where the company Development Alternatives Incorporated is handed over the program to develop countries either invaded by America or countries in which America has intervened for various reasons. The situation is aggravated by the fact that certain members of the legislature have become pawns in the attempts made by these people paid by foreign corporations to destabilize the country, both politically and economically. Is it not the objectives of the Americans being implemented through the AXA, SOFA and Millennium Challenge agreements? Efforts made by the American camp to get a foothold in Sri Lanka, who used to follow a non-aligned policy, had intensified after many projects by the Chinese were implemented in Sri Lanka during the Rajapaksa regime. What is the final objective of these foreign interventions? This is the questions on the minds of the general public.
I would like to ask the Honourable Speaker how Prasad Karyavasam, who is paid by the American government, has been appointed as an advisor to the Speaker. In the list of parliamentary officials that we know, there is no such position. How is he paid a salary? The situation in Parliament is highly suspicious. Prasad Karyavasam, as a person who is paid by America when working at this parliamentary complex, does he only advise the Speaker? Or does he work on supplying other information? Prasad Karyavasam is a former secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He is only assisting to obtain information on how MPs work in other countries to get scholarships and to strengthen parliamentary democracy. It is not the US aid, but another institution that pays for it. He assists me to do these. He does not reveal foreign secrets or anything of that sort.
උත්තරීතර පාර්ලිමේන්තුව ස්වාධීන පාර්ලිමේන්තුව. ඉතින් මේ ස්වාධීනත්වය තවත් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුලින් පඩි ගෙවනවා නම් කිසි
නෑ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව ගෙවන්නේ නෑ ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා.
නෑ ඒක ගෙවනවා නම් අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ.
ඒක නෑ එහෙම මට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නෑ. එහෙම අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නෑ.
එහෙමනම් මොකද මේක ස්වාධීනයි.
එහෙම අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නෑ.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ගරුත්වය විදේශ බලපෑම් වලට යටත් වෙනවා කියන වැරදි හැඟීමක් අත තුල ඇති වෙනවා.
ඔව්. ඒ වගේම මේ
To strengthen this democracy, about 60 to 70 MPs of this parliament have gone on tours with the same money. This is not an operation to reveal secrets. As the Speaker, he accepts these grants and sends you on foreign tours. There is nothing wrong with that. What are you talking about? Former Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Prasad Karyavasam, is a person who influenced former Secretary of Defence, Karunasena Hettiarachchi, to sign the controversial AXA agreement. He is paid a salary from the US aid not to work for the Sri Lankan government. He has a favoured friend of his named Maheshi Kolonne. It is this friend and Prasad Karyavasam that work mainly to further American interests in the country. There are the people who are pushing for the signing of the SOFA agreement. You have taken snakes working for America inside. They are not good for this country. They do not love this country. Through the AXA agreement, they have endangered the country and not done anything else.
ඇමරිකාවෙන් උදව් ගන්න නැතුව ඩිස්නි වර්ල්ඩ් එකකින් උදව් ගන්නවා.
MP Veeravansa used words. Learn how to speak to the Prime Minister and opposition leader of the country. Be civilized. Speaker, you said that through this fund, about 75 to 100 MPs were sent overseas. But you have not given this opportunity to all of the MPs. I have been in this parliament for the past 4 years and I have travelled only once to England. Only once. You are only sending selected MPs.
Shifting your attention onto some weather-related news this evening. Now, over 440,000 people living across Sri Lanka are suffering at the hands of a crushing drought. A majority of those affected are in the northern and eastern parts of the country.
This is the devastation caused by the drought in Kiran Batiklo. Farming is the main livelihood of the people living here. These farmers have no water for agriculture and no water to even quench their thirst. With the wells in the area drying up and the lack of drinking water in the area, the situation has taken a turn for the worse. When the Newsfirst team visited the area, many cattle in Kulavali and the Pallatuchena villages were seen dead. This has resulted in a major blow to the dairy industry in the area. The residents of these areas have already abandoned over 275 acres of farmlands due to the lack of water for their agricultural activities.
We do not have water to drink. We have no way of feeding our children. We have to walk for miles in search of water. We can't find water to drink. We travel a long distance to get water.
The sun is setting on the Mawattuwan village in Batticaloa. The heat and the warmth is excruciating. Do not be deceived by the greenery, the green farmlands that you see behind me. The farmers that you see here who are standing and waiting will not come to this farmland again, because they know that without the water that they require to cultivate these fields, they will not be able to have a good yield, a good harvest. So this will be the last day that these farmers that you see behind me will arrive at these farmlands. They will now give up their hope simply because they've lost a battle with nature. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Saturang Hapuarachi, reporting from Mawattuwan in Batticaloa.
8,004 people of 2,446 families have been affected by the arid weather in the Batticaloa district alone. The Disaster Management Centre put the number affected in the Eastern Province at 152,936. Over 190,264 people have been hit by the prevalent drought in the Northern Province.
There are 7 parliamentarians representing the Hambantota district. Now, there are approximately 100 officials attached to the municipal councils, Pradesh Sabhas and provincial councils who represent nothing but the people. Amid all of this, there are debates over the presidential candidacy, and the power struggle within this political arena is never ending. Only if the time and money wasted on such futile matters were allocated to support a poor family, we at News First would have not had to hear the following news item.
Something unfortunate took place. A child from our district died due to malnutrition. How did this happen? This is an issue. The Samruddhi official, the health officer and the Grama Nilladhari officer, or the authorities directly or indirectly in charge of that area, are responsible for this. The child was just 11 months old. During the post-mortem, the judicial medical officer gives a certificate stating that a child had died due to malnutrition. The first thing I inquired from the father of the child was whether the family was entitled for Samruddhi. They said they were not Samruddhi beneficiaries, so I asked them why. The father then replied saying they did not want the Samruddhi allowance. The father of the child is suffering from depression. It is the Samruddhi officer's fault to question a man with depression in the first place. These are the matters that we all must look into.
The secretary expressed these views at an event held at the Anganukula Palace Divisional Secretariat. Following his statement, when News First looked into this matter, we met this family residing in Vijayapura, Tissamaharama in Hambantota. A 11-month-old named Malit Mihiranga had passed away on the 14th of this month due to malnutrition.
දස්තරලා කිව්වේ දරුවට මන්ද පෝෂණය කියලා. ඒක කිරිපත්තත් හැදුවේ නැහැ. දරුව නැති වුණාට පස්සෙම.
මේ දරුවන්ට බොන පිටිපැතත් එහෙම තියෙනවද?
නෑ ඉතින් පිටි නැහැ. පිටි ගෙනාව දවසක්වත් නැහැ ඉතින්.
The only source of income to support this family that comprises of 3 more children is fishing.
උදේ කොහෙන් මොනවද කෑවේ?
අර හම්බලුයි හොදි.
කොහෙන්ද?
ඉස්කෝලේ.
දුප්පත් අපිට ඉතින් මහා සපක් දෙන්න නැහැ. පුළුවන් විදිහකින් මගේ මේ දරුවෝ තුන් දෙනා මම කන්න බොන්න දෙනවා.
Meanwhile, a highly depressed mother has committed suicide together with her 2 children last Friday at the Kolpiti railway lines. There are thousands of families similar to this family across the island. If the authorities and relevant officials do not serve honestly, such event repeating in the future will be inevitable.
With that tragic story, moving back to news from Parliament this evening, the government sought approval in Parliament for a supplementary estimate valued at 56,545 million rupees to purchase vehicles and several other matters.
The supplementary estimate allocates 43 million rupees to purchase a vehicle to Minister of Land, another 42.9 million rupees to purchase vehicles for the opposition leader, and 19.9 million rupees has been allocated for the renovation of the official residence of the Minister of Public Enterprise, Kanti and Heritage and Kanti Development. 100 million rupees has been allocated for 3 parliamentarians. However, following my inquiry from State Minister of Finance, the government is yet to set up a program to support and provide financial relief to those who became permanently disabled in the 21st April attacks. On what basis do you allocate funds?
තමුන්නාස්ලා වෙන් කරන්නේ මොන පදනමක්ද? අරු කතානායකතුමනි මම බබා 89 ඉඳන් ඉන්නේ මගේ ගෙදර. මේක මේ විකාරයක් මේ විකාර කියන්නේ අමූලික පට්ටපල් බොරුවක් මේක.
හොඳයි.
ගරු කතානායකතුමනි On the 19th page of the supplementary budget estimate, it is clearly stated that 19.9 million rupees has been allocated through provision number 163. There are 158 headers under the provisions. I would like to know, Honourable Leader of the House, does this supplementary estimate report carry false information? I clearly stated that I have been living in my house since 1989. I now pose the question to all members of the opposition, is anyone against the decision to provide the opposition leader with cars? If there is anyone who opposes this, please rise from your seat. No one is against it. I am the minister in charge of land. After being sworn into this ministerial position, I never have and will never purchase a new vehicle. The supplementary estimate states that funds have been allocated to renovate the official residence of the Minister of Public Enterprise, Kandyan Heritage and Kandy Development. This is a wrong entry. The supplementary estimate also allocates funds to purchase vehicles for the opposition leader. Does the opposition oppose this move? When I took over as opposition leader, all vehicles assigned to my office were taken by the former opposition leader, Sambandhan. This was when a vehicle was given to our office. I think this is the issue. Is there an issue in providing the opposition leader with a vehicle? All vehicles assigned to my office were taken. Remember that both the vehicle and official residence of the opposition leader was taken. There is something that must be clarified. He said that funds will be allocated to purchase a vehicle for the Minister of Lands. However, the supplementary estimate report states that the vehicle is to be purchased for the Deputy Minister of Land. It has been 8 months since the Deputy Minister was sworn in. He does not have a proper vehicle. Therefore, he must be given a new vehicle.
ආණ්ඩුව එතකොට මේ පරිපූර්ණක ඇස්තමේන්තු ඉල්ලාස් කර ගන්නවාද? මොකද මේක වැරදි සභානායකතුමා කියන විදිහට. මේක ඉල්ලාස් කරගෙන හරියට එකක් දාන්න එනවා.
කර ගන්නවා ඒක. හොඳයි. ඒක නිවැරදි කරන එකක් අපිට මේක සම්මත කරන්න බෑ.
Although the supplementary estimate was withdrawn today, steps will be taken to present the supplementary estimate valued at 56,545 million rupees to Parliament and obtain approval.
A common question circulating these days is who will be the next presidential and prime ministerial candidates? Well, these are the views expressed in the political arena.
Against such a backdrop of upcoming presidential and general elections, a public referendum is also among the topics of discussion. A public referendum is non-binding. You can only obtain an idea. You must then find 2/3 majority. But you need to incur additional expenses. There are only 2 more months for a presidential election and therefore we must prepare for that. At present, there is no time for any election other than the presidential election. Yet another effort, a public referendum to dissolve Parliament. This can never be achieved. According to the constitution of our country, Parliament cannot be dissolved through a public referendum. Anyone who knows the law will accept this. There was a discussion regarding a public referendum. The President has the power to call for a public referendum at any given time. A public referendum is a non-binding referendum. A public referendum does not have the powers to dissolve Parliament. No one needs to panic. There are many rumours spreading in this regard. Though the decision to hold a public referendum or any other election is yet to be made, the ruling party as well as the opposition had the following views regarding the presidential candidate. We are not sure who will be the next presidential candidate. Will it be Basil or Chamal Rajapaksa? We don't know. There is competition among the Rajapaksa siblings. Mahinda Rajapaksa's family will officially announce the candidates. The candidates have been named. We have no issue. If the perpetrators who have been accused of various wrongdoings are planning on forming a new government, I am not sure what the people should expect. Based on the results of the 2018 elections, the Podujana Peramuna had a voter base of 5 million. The UPFA, including the SLFP, had a voter base of 1,497,234. So if the Podujana Peramuna and the SLFP join hands, they can increase their voter base to 6.5 million voters. I stress that in no way will Maithripala Sirisena be prevented from becoming the next presidential candidate. We will build a comprehensive force comprised of Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Podujana Peramuna and the SLFP to establish a progressive government. It will be easy to operate in such a government as everyone will share the same view. Let's say Gotabaya Rajapaksa will become the next president and Mahinda Rajapaksa will become the next prime minister. Basil Rajapaksa, Chamal Rajapaksa and Namal Rajapaksa will be cabinet ministers. Shashindra Rajapaksa will also contest from Monragala and he must be given a ministerial portfolio as well. Nirupama Rajapaksa will also be made a minister. In that case, half of the cabinet will be Rajapaksas. After analysing all these facts, I believe that Maithripala Sirisena will be the next presidential candidate. However, we require Mahinda Rajapaksa's support and blessings for this.
Now, while the people of this country are suffering with not being able to fulfill their basic requirements, the economic situation in the country continues to be bleak. Ceylon FT reported today that the country's foreign reserves in the 3 market days to the 17th of this month bled by $296.31 million or 52,299 million rupees due to external commitments.
Ceylon FT reported today that the country's foreign reserves in the 3 market days to the 17th of this month bled by $296.31 million or 52,299 million rupees due to external commitments. It further reveals of a decline in net excess liquidity by 12,569 million rupees to 35,915 million rupees. In the 3 market days to yesterday, the country's foreign reserves bled by $351.93 million. Foreign exchange reserves are the foreign currencies held by a country's central bank. Among the several reasons why banks hold reserves, the most important reason is to manage their value of their currencies. However, due to Sri Lanka's deep abyss of debt, the government is forced to release these funds to repay the never-ending debt obligation. While a decline in foreign reserves of a country will put pressure on the domestic currency to depreciate, this will in turn affect the prices of imports to increase. This will no doubt affect the majority of Sri Lanka by increased cost of living.
Well, what happened to MP Chaminda Vijayasiri, who was going to make a revelation about the present government?
UNP MP Chaminda Vijayasiri made a statement that he will make a revelation on a large-scale scam conducted by a minister of the current government in Parliament today and added that he will be taking a stern political decision. However, this same MP made this statement when he came out of Temple Trees yesterday. The Prime Minister obtained all of this information from me. The Prime Minister will directly intervene in this. He should intervene. If there is no program to address this, I will make public all of these documents and recordings.
So
when our leader intervenes and says that he will resolve the issue, there is no need for us to speak of this anymore. This is not the first time that backbench MPs of the United National Party had acted like this. This is the mechanism used by them to fulfill their personal agendas. These people who come before the media and speak out criticizing the party and their party leader later make agreements with the party leadership in secret and silence themselves by providing various excuses. When there was a call from inside the party itself for a change in leadership, Kurunegala District MP Nalin Bandara Jayama once raised his voice and demanded for reforms in the party. He was silenced after he was appointed as a monitoring MP and later received a deputy ministerial portfolio. MP Ajit Pereira, who spoke at media briefings during the 52-day constitutional crisis last year and raised a ruckus, expressed dissatisfaction with the deputy ministerial position awarded to him. He was later silenced by means of a non-cabinet ministerial portfolio. Palitharange Bandara painted himself as quite the rebel in the party, speaking out against the absence of an MP from the Putlam district inside the cabinet. Today, he too is silent. MP Hesha Vithanage, who also demanded for a change within the party, has come to terms with the situation and silenced himself. These are only a few examples. It is clear that these MPs raise their voices not for the people or party supporters, but only for themselves. It is their responsibility to immediately reveal any details in their possession of corruption or any other malpractices. Protecting such corrupt individuals simply after having fulfilled their personal needs is a crime. Shouldn't these corrupt politicians, as well as those who promise to reveal them and then go silent after receiving perks and privileges, be arrested and punished? Are the people deceived by these politicians who speak of corruption only for their personal gains, or by their leaders who provide them with various privileges to silence them? The people are left to wonder, who is the real thief?
Facebook has revealed plans to launch a cryptocurrency called Libra, the latest development in its efforts to expand beyond social networking and move into e-commerce and global payments.
Facebook has linked with 28 partners in a Geneva-based entity called the Libra Association, which will govern its new digital coin set to launch in the first half of 2020. Facebook has also created a subsidiary called Calibra, which will offer digital wallets to save, send and spend Libras. Calibra will be connected to Facebook's messaging platforms, Messenger and WhatsApp, which already boast more than 1 billion users. Facebook hopes it will not only power transactions between established consumers and businesses around the globe, but offer unbanked consumers access to financial services for the first time. Head of the project for Facebook, David Marcus, said the name Libra was inspired by Roman weight measurements, the astrological sign for justice, and the French word for freedom. A report by the University of Sri Jayawardenepura says social media has proven to be more collaborative, productivity enhancing, and cost friendly. Quoting social bankers, Ceylon FT reported there are at least 900,000 Facebook users in Sri Lanka. The research shows that Sri Lankans are not new to the social networking trend and that internet users are typically signed up with at least one social network.
With that, we bring to close this edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for stopping by. More news follows on our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you. Good night.